Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and this subscriber sent a donation, so thanks for your donation. And remember, guys, if you want to guarantee that your question will be answered, make sure you click the link below and send a donation, all right? So this one says, your videos have been a big help to me since I found you a couple of weeks ago. My question is about trying to have sex on the first date / meet up with a woman. Based on what I've experienced, if sex doesn't happen the first date / meet up with a woman, I personally don't hold out much hope that I will ever have sex with that woman. So my gut feeling is just to charge into the game if it doesn't happen. I guess I just take it as a lack of interest. Even if oral sex happens, but not full intercourse, I don't hold out much hope for my prospects with the woman. For instance, I had a time where a woman literally gave me a blowjob in my car, but we didn't have intercourse. She made a date with me to have full-on sex at my place next time, but she ultimately canceled and I did not see her again. Contrast that with times where I had full-on sexual intercourse on the day of the first meetup / date. A lot of these cases, I got a solid friends with benefits at the very least. There's only one exception that I can think of where I didn't go all the way with a woman on the first date, but had intercourse with her later. After the date, we fooled around, but didn't have intercourse. I bumped into her a year later and was able to set myself to have sex with her at her apartment. Am I misguided to give up on women after not getting sex the first date? And if your advice is for me to be patient and try again or wait next time, my concern would be whether it throws things off if she rebuffs me and then I meet with her next time to try again. How many tries do I give it before I'm wasting my time? Or do I try the first time and then chill out more the next if I was rebuffed the first time? I will note that many of the women I have sex with on the first date have been very kinky women that I met on BDSM / swinger dating sites. Those kind of women seem to be more comfortable with their sexuality and to be less afraid of being slut shamed because of the fact that they are weird anyway. I prefer these women for those reasons. I would, however, like to get better with women who aren't at least overtly into that stuff so as to give myself more options. This is a whole nother issue you could do a whole nother video on. Thanks. All right, so basically, the thing is, right, when it all depends on the actual situation, because you're asking, if you don't have sex with her on the first date, should you just charge it again? Because most likely it's not going to happen if it doesn't happen on the first date. Now, there are times where, you'll go on the first date, everything seems cool, you think you're going to see her again, and it just doesn't happen. It is what it is, right? But there are times where you don't hit on the first date and you end up smashing later on, right? Now, this is the thing I want to tell you is depending on what you're doing on the date should determine whether or not you should charge her to the game if sex doesn't happen on that date. So what I mean is, if you're on a date with this girl and let's say you're actually flirting with her heavy, building sexual tension, and you're trying to make it happen, and she's not being receptive, you understand? Then you could say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to even bother with this chick, because her not being receptive a lot of times means that she's not interested. See, guys will think, well, oh, maybe she's not the type of girl, or maybe she wants to wait, and yada, 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 right? Now, the thing is, a girl could want to wait and have sex with you later, but usually that means that she doesn't see you as that, like, super sexually attractive alpha male type of guy. Because if she did, she'd fuck you. You see what I'm saying? On that first date. So you could have sex, second date, third date, whatever, if you even get that date or whatever, the second or third date. But what happens is that there's a lot of times where it might not happen. Right? Because the thing is, for a lot of women, it's all about how they feel in the moment. And so you got to sort of strike while the pussy's hot. So if she's actually seems like she wants to do it, and there's a possibility for you to do it because the logistics and everything is working in your favor, then yeah, definitely do that. But again, like I was saying, if you were trying to make it happen and she was being resistant, then yeah, charge your ass to the game. Now, especially if all things are pointing to it being able to actually happen. So what I mean is, let's say you're on this first date with the girl, you're flirting with her, everything seems cool and all of that. She doesn't, let's say she doesn't really have any scheduling problems, meaning like she can hang out with you for a while on that date. Like it's not going to take her out of her way to actually come back to your place, or she doesn't have to get up early in the morning. So, like there's nothing stopping this from actually happening. Like we can actually make it happen. So if that's the case, and on top of that, you're trying to make it happen and she still doesn't fuck with you on that sex shit, then yeah, charge it to the game. Because in most cases, it ain't gonna happen. Because again, if she was really, really feeling you and everything was all, pointing in that direction, or everything was like it was feasible for that to happen and she doesn't do it, then you can charge your ass to the game. Now, let's say you're on a date, but you're not necessarily pushing for the sex to happen, right? So let's say you're just chilling with her, y'all getting like a drink or something, y'all just chilling, shooting the shit. You're flirting with her a little bit, but you're not going all the way in. You're not even, your intentions aren't necessarily even to smash that night like you would if it goes down, but your intentions are, I'm just sort of like feeling her out a little bit. And then it doesn't necessarily happen that night. You don't have to charge it to the game because in this situation, you weren't necessarily like trying to make it happen. So you weren't giving her anything to respond to as far as her having sex with you, right? So the thing is, since you weren't trying to really necessarily make it happen and you were just chilling, you could hit her back up and hang out with her again and then probably smash. You see what I'm saying? Because at that point, you haven't created the situation to where she has to respond to you when it comes to sex. See, the reason why I'm saying that if you're trying to make it happen and she's not being responsive, that you should charge it to the game is because at that point, she's supposed to be responsive to you in that sexual manner. You see what I'm saying? And since she isn't, that's usually an indicator that she's not that interested in you. You see what I mean? So, and again, like I say, a lot of times is that, you don't necessarily have to even go on dates to hook up with chicks. But, I understand because myself, I actually like to go on dates because I like to sort of feel chicks out a little bit before I smash. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that, when you're on these dates and you're trying to make it happen and she's not being receptive, then yeah, definitely charge to the game because, I say like 8 to 9 times out of 10, if you're doing it that way and she's not receptive to it, most likely you're not going to smash anyway. You see what I'm saying? Because the thing is, a lot of times, even if you're in that situation, let's say she is being receptive, to a certain extent, let's say she's kissing you, y'all feeling each other up or whatever, but you're trying to like take her back to your place or you're trying to go back to her place and she's being resistant, right? And she's like, oh, let's do it next time. And, not right now, whatever, let's do it next time. The next time, a lot of times doesn't happen because in that moment, she's feeling it. She wants to do it now, but she's like being resistant for whatever reason. And when the next time comes up, she's in a whole nother different mindset or mind state. And those feelings might not be the same at that point, and then she may not want to make it happen. So this is why I say in that scenario, sometimes it's, you might as well charge it to the game because, she's not really trying to make it happen at that point. And then later on, the whole momentum and everything's going to dissipate and you just, it's just a waste of time. So the thing is, if you don't smash on that first date and you were trying to make it happen, right? You need to charge it to the game and keep that shit pushing. Now, let's say you try to smash, you didn't want to do it, and you charge it to the game, but she hit you back. She called you. She hollered at you. You want to meet her in a situation where sex could happen. So you create that situation. Okay, cool. Well, let's come through to my crib. I'm gonna order some food and we gonna chill. You understand what I'm saying? so that you create that situation for the sex to happen. But in general, if you're trying to make sex happen on that first date and she is not being responsive, yeah, definitely charge it to the game. Now, I know there's going to be some guys who are going to be thinking, but I'm saying though, like, you know, I might be missing out on some pussy because what if she would fuck me on the third date or whatever like that, right? Now, again, that could happen, but it also may not happen. So instead of doing all that, you could find just another girl who's going to cooperate with you in the first place. Or sometimes what happens is that these girls, you know, they'll string you along for a while because, again, since they don't see you as that super sexually attractive alpha male guy, they put you in that beta category. They put you in the category of the guy they're going to make way, going to, you know, take him out, wine and dine him, do all that other stuff. And since you're so thirsty for the vagina, you're going to go along with it. And, you know, and then if she just is like, you know what, I'm just not going to give this guy any pussy, and then just changes her mind and y'all done went on 2-3 dates and shit ain't pop off anyway. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, if you're on that first date and you're trying to actually make it happen and she's not receptive, keep that shit pushing. If you're on the date but you're not necessarily trying to make it happen, where you're just sort of feeling her out, then yeah, you can hit her up again, because at that point you haven't put yourself out there to the point where you're even letting her know that you're trying to smash at this point. You see what I'm saying? Because the thing is this: when you're letting her know you're trying to smash and you're doing all these things trying to smash and she's not receptive, it's already been, you know, put out there that this is what you want to do. Right? Now, if you are just chilling, she's not too sure about what you're trying to do. She's not too sure if you even like her in that sense, because you haven't been pushing for the sex. So that, you know, sort of uncertainty there could keep the interest going to the point where she will smash on the second or third date in most cases, right? But again, you're still dealing with women, so they'll be super fickle and flaky sometimes. So your best bet is, when you're dealing with a girl, what you want to do is, a lot of times you want to, you know, sort of test her out to see how interested she is in you. And this doesn't mean you have to try to have sex with every girl on the first date or whatever. But what I'm saying is that if you are trying to do it and she's not trying to fuck with you, then it's best just to keep it moving. You feel me? So that's pretty much it. Listen, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you click the link below, and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.
Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below to send me a question. If you have a question on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which teaches you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And 3, I want you to click the link under that one to go to Bad Boy Membership, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month.
What's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy to follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.